Is that, do you think, probably the place where teams get hurt the most by not practicing?
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. I would say probably the number one thing is in transition defense. That's where guys have to communicate on the fly with teams coming at you with a speed break. I think that's one of the biggest areas where it's tough to build those relationships. I know that type of communication. But all of your execution pieces, your spacing, your time, your rhythm and timing of your offensive sets and actions, and on all of your defensive sharpness and communication as you're trying to cover for each other and reading the action that you're in. So it's sort of an all the above thing. But, I would say the transition defense is where I feel it the most.
Kyle?
Hey, Frank. You were talking last night about handling ball pressure and how you had to adjust to Indiana. I'm wondering, does the balance of when Dennis brings the ball up versus when LeBron brings the ball up, does that shift when teams pressure you more, or are you looking for sort of the same ratio of those possessions every game?
Well, I think when we played more like last year, even some stretches this year where LeBron was the lone ball handler out there, it would shift our thinking in terms of getting another ball handler out there with him. We're playing through our center led breaks or Anthony led breaks, those types of actions. But right now we're playing with another ball handler out there almost exclusively for all of LeBron's minutes. So, I think it's really a situation where they're handling more than he is, and he has the ability to defer.
And unrelated quick follow-up, any update to Alex's status for Monday?
Yeah, he's still being evaluated, for all the stuff that goes into the concussion protocol. So no answer yet.
Dave?
All right, did you watch the All-Star game?
I do.
What did you think of LeBron and Steph Curry teaming up for the first time in the entirety of their careers? And I don't know if you noticed the joy they seemed to share playing with one another.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It was one of the things when I first saw that they were going to be on the same team together, I had to ask myself, that I just thought that this is probably the first time that they ever did play an All-Star game together or All-Star team together. And, I think that's just one of the cool things about that game, is to be able to play with other elite stars like that. So, I haven't talked to Bron about it, but it just seemed like the two of them just enjoyed that experience.
Bill?
Hi, Frank. I have two questions. The first being, did AD do anything today? Is he able to start doing things, and do you have a better sense of what the next 2 weeks might look like for him?
Yeah, it was more like just strengthening and weights so far. I actually haven't talked to the medical team about whether he's doing stuff on the court yet or not. There's all these limitations right now with, when he came in earlier to lift, he can only do treatment, and weights. He can't do stuff on the court until all the PCR results are in. He's just going to, over the next few weeks, hopefully begin a buildup of more activity.
Okay. And then my other question is, last night, LeBron talked about how, you need to remember that, Trez has only played 37 games so far with this group. And Dennis was just on here talking about how, because of the circumstances of this season, he still feels like, he's still getting to know guys a little bit. I'm curious how that works for you on the evaluation side in terms of knowing really what you have with this group, especially as the trade deadline's getting closer and your ability to give feedback to the front office about what this team might need, if anything.
Yeah, it slows that process down, quite frankly, the evaluation process. And, you have to keep that perspective, as you're seeing the relationships on the floor being built. So it's just one of the many limiting factors of this type of season. But we're all in the same boat, and we just got to roll with it.
Dan?
Frank, I had a couple follow-ups. One, you did such a good Jack Nicholson for us yesterday. I don't know if you had any other impressions you wanted to dust off.
Not on TV, no. Or the web, wherever this is going.
This lives everywhere, Frank. What have you kind of made of Talon and sort of his insertion in the rotation? What has he done that's impressed you, and what does he need to do still to continue growing?
Yeah, Talon plays like a young player. You know, he's fearless. I love that part about him. You know, he's trying to dunk on the leading shot blocker last night. You know, making some good plays, but he certainly makes his share of mistakes as well. And you know, that's part of having a young player. But his attitude, his willingness to get better, his confidence in himself is everything you want in a young player. And we're very pleased with what he's brought to the table for us this year.
And last one here is Fagan, Harrison Fagan.
Frank, were Mark or Kostas able to rejoin you today? And have you gotten any tentative timeline on either of them? If not,
they're not with us. And you know, the only thing I can say timeline-wise, just we got a game coming up, is they won't be with us for these 2 games. Other than that, you know, they're just in the health and safety protocols. Sort of all I can say.
So for the next 2 games, they're not going to be
back to back. They will not be with us.
Thank you.
All right. Looks like that's it for today. So thank you so much, everyone. Coach, have a good practice.
Thanks, guys.